Hello, gorgeous. It is Lala Kent. Welcome to the bonus episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. I just felt the need to have today's bonus episode be about news and headlines because I feel like our lives are a headline these days. So much is going on in the world. And I just wanted to do like a little bit of a throwback, or it can be current. What headlines do you remember super, super vividly? You remember where you were when you heard the news, how old you were, like just every detail is just stuck in the front of your mind. Now, they wrote in, my friends, Mom, I call them my friends, our listeners, wrote in amazing headlines that actually brought me back to like, oh my gosh, I remember that so well. Like I remember I was modeling Maggie Sotero.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Prom
in
dresses.
Salt Lake City, Utah, you guys. Prom dresses. And I remember hearing the news that Farrah Fawcett had died. Someone came in and said that she had passed away, but Michael Jackson died on the same day. And then Farrah Fawcett's passing was a little bit outshadowed by Michael Jackson's passing. And I remember someone running in as we're like clicking, right? We're in a huge studio and I'm standing on like 3 Apple boxes because everyone thinks I'm very tall. When people meet me in person, they're like, you're so short compared to what I thought you would be. So they had me on really stacked up Apple boxes to make me taller. And I remember almost passing out because my knees buckled. I forgot to like not buckle my knees after the news. Yes. And then we just started playing Michael Jackson music the rest of the day. And then from there, went to Lake Powell with my fine-looking boyfriend at the time and only played Michael Jackson on the boat.
Wow.
Yes.
Crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, I'm like in the studio right now thinking you standing on Apple boxes. Like I'm envisioning all this.
No, that's why I wanted to ask these questions because between Diddy and then like everything happening and just like newsworthy headlines, I thought it was the perfect time. Mom, on your blue sticky note that you have,
Yes. I have a piece
do you
of paper
have them
now.
written?
I have a piece of paper now too.
Oh, great. Okay, which ones do you remember?
I remember Princess Diana. We were in Sun Valley at the ice skating show.
How old were Easton and I?
You guys were little. Like you were probably 3 or 4. I don't know. What year did she pass?
I'm not sure, but we'll look it up because someone wrote in the Princess Diana passing.
Yeah.
And you remember that we were in Sun Valley.
Yes.
We haven't been to the only time we went to Sun Valley, Idaho, right?
She died in 97.
Okay, so I was 6 or 7.
Yep.
Wow.
We'd go for every Labor Day, remember?
I do remember.
Yeah.
And I remember.
In fact, you started walking on Labor Day when you were a year old in Sun Valley.
Wow, so it was a sentimental trip as well.
Yes.
Okay, so you remember Princess Diana. What about you, Easton?
Mine was the Kobe Bryant.
You stole mine. Which thing about Kobe Bryant? His passing?
Yeah, just like where I was.
Where were you?
I was at home.
Okay, shocker.
Where
know.
was home, though, then?
I was in Salt Lake City, Utah, at our 3648 home.
Okay.
Our first home. Yeah, I was like cleaning the basement because...
Wow, 2 shockers.
Yeah. Life was different. You weren't here.
No. Was I?
I don't think
No,
so.
I was here.
You were here. I was preparing the house for
There's
moving.
no
I feel
way.
like.
You want to know how I know?
Tell me.
Because I heard about his passing. We were on a private jet leaving Salt Lake. We were at Sundance. We got the news and we were in the air. We had just taken off and everyone was freaking out that that the plane wouldn't have Wi-Fi or that the Wi-Fi wouldn't work. We were headed to, I believe it was Ohio, to start shooting a movie. And everyone was sitting there going, Rick Fox was on the chopper too. That's what everyone's saying is Rick Fox was on the chopper. And my ex gets a text back from Rick Fox saying like, no, it's wild that everyone thinks that I'm dead right now.
Wow.
And were you with me?
I feel like I was.
You might have been with me flying to Ohio.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
were, because I remember you staying in my room.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I know I was alone. Because
Yeah.
I was like cleaning the house because me and mom were in talks of moving elsewhere. So I was like just mindlessly going through life. 'Cause dad had just kind of passed too.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh my
mindlessly
gosh.
going through life. So then that
Yep.
happened. I was like, oh no, the girl dad.
The girl dad. I remember that.
So
That was
sad.
mine.
Yeah.
So
I won't
sad.
forget. I was watching TV downstairs in the basement as I was cleaning and vacuuming and all this. And then the TV show just went off and it went into ESPN and all the news. And they were like, we have breaking news. Kobe Bryant has passed in a helicopter. And I was like, this isn't real. And then I got on my phone and I just sat on the couch. And then right after that happened, my ex-girlfriend, or my girlfriend at the time, came over. And then we put Pablo and Bernie, my pit bulls, we put them in Kobe Bryant jerseys.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I have a picture of them too.
I love that.
I know.
Kobe Bryant was my childhood crush.
Yeah. Well, the
Absolutely.
thing that sucks about Kobe Bryant is we got the best of Kobe Bryant, and I think we were about to get the greatest of Kobe Bryant when he was retired.
Really?
Like we missed prime Kobe. Oh,
And why do you say that? Because of what he was doing for women's
like
basketball?
Women's basketball. He was going to be an amazing announcer. He was like, he could have been a coach. Like, I feel like he did everything that he needed to do in his career, and he was just about to be a dad, and that was going to be the greatest of his time. Like, what
Yeah.
he was going to do. And just like the groundwork he would lay for me or people like, just like I'm a uncle to two girls. Like, there was a lot of things that he was doing that I was like, I could start to do that.
No, he definitely was putting women's sports on the map. And there's a girl, I think her name is Sabrina, and she plays, I'm blanking
York,
on
I
her.
wanna-
Okay.
I know
Who attributes her basketball career
To
to
him.
Kobe Bryant. And she said she still texts him his phone to this day. Because, Kobe put together that the Mamba facility where his daughter played, and a lot of great athletes, female athletes, came out of there. So I think you're right.
And we lost, in my opinion, an athlete that was going to be one of the greatest WNBA players in Gigi.
That just sent chills all over my body
I
that
feel
went
like
to my head.
She was going to be special.
Oh,
Yeah.
Easton, I love that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
me too.
That I share that with you. That I remember that.
And all those girls on that helicopter, like that whole team, like there was just something about Kobe's presence that I knew all those girls were going to have a lot of hope and a lot of greatness ahead of them with Kobe Bryant.
And I think they
being-
were going to a game, right?
They were, yeah. They were going, yeah.
It's devastating.
Ready to elevate your shopping experience? Then tune in to Amazon Live. For those of you who don't know Amazon Live, it's a shoppable video experience on Amazon where you can learn about the hottest products from influencers and creators like me and shop while you're watching. On my channel, you'll find cruelty-free beauty must-haves, my go-to parenting products, basic wardrobe essentials, and my favorite things for Ocean and Sosa. I've even shared the cutest accessories and jewelry and worn my favorite finds. On Amazon Live, you can ask questions in the live chat and have fun with whoever is streaming. And there are some really fun people streaming, like Kyle Richards and Paige DeSorbo, and of course, yours truly. I actually just finished my new Amazon Live series called Mama Still Got It, where we brought a mix of hilarious personal stories, some solid parental advice, and really fun interactive segments with special guests from my pod like Christina Kelly and Michelle Lally. During Mama Still Got It and my other Amazon Lives, I share a lot about myself as a single mom, my two beautiful girls, and my family pod that helps me do it all. That means you get an exclusive look into my life that the cameras do not get to show. We've got my mama, we've got my brother Easton, sometimes Ocean pops in. We always have an absolute blast, just like we do on the Give Them Lala podcast. Amazon Live is the perfect partnership for me as Amazon has really come through for me since becoming a mom. I've built such an incredible community on Amazon Live, and I love chatting with you guys. Everyone is so sweet. They're supportive. It's like my little positive safe space. So head to amazon.com/LalaLive where you'll find all the episodes from my Amazon Live series, Mama Still Got It. For a limited time, use promo code LalaLive for $5 off an eligible product featured on my series. Promotion expires on December 22nd, 2024. There are limited supplies of goods. Terms and conditions apply. For full promotion terms and conditions, go to amazon.com/Lala terms.
A lot of people that wrote in, these headlines are like intense. It has to do with passing, celebrities that died for whatever reason. And it got me to thinking it's so wild that most things that are not devastating don't ever get a ton of headlines.
Yeah.
Isn't it wild? Like the ones that stick with you are the ones that are really like traumatic or like a big freaking scandal. So I do want to say that something that made headlines this week is that Beyonce has now is the most nominated artist for Grammys in history.
That's phenomenal.
It's pretty incredible, right?
Yeah.
Bad bitch right there. This person said Jean-Benet Ramsey.
I remember that one too.
I was very young with this one too, and I remember being terrified because she was a young girl and I was a young girl, and I remember sitting there being like, oh my gosh, there's people out there that are snatching little girls and killing them.
Right, and they never caught who did it.
No.
That is what is, I'm dumbfounded. I don't understand. With DNA, the whole 9 yards.
Well, I think the problem was that the crime scene was just not perfect, and one little mistake. We watch a lot of 2020 and Dateline.
Yes, we do.
One little mistake, one detective going in and touching something changes the whole entire case. So it's wild that still to this day it's unsolved.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Waking up to Princess Diana's death.
Do you guys remember Anthony Bourdain?
No, yes.
Yeah.
When he passed,
Mm-hmm. I don't remember like all, but
the chef.
Yeah, he would like travel and eat great foods. And,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember when he. I don't remember where I was, but I remember like because I always watch like Cooking Channel and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they were always like in dedication to him and stuff. So I remember that for like a good month of them
news.
just-
Yeah.
yeah, like in memory of and all of that. But sad.
I
Very
remember
sad.
JFK Jr.'s plane crash.
Oh, where were you?
I was at home vacuuming.
See, we're a cleaning family.
Wow, a lot of big news coming to the Birmingham household while we're at home cleaning. What? Okay, and
Productivity.
was it like? How did you find out? Because back then we didn't have social media.
On
You didn't.
television.
Okay, so you had on the
Breaking news.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Isn't it wild to think? So as I was looking up headlines, I Googled, naturally, I would say like Kim Kardashian marries Kanye West headline. And it was all just like internet pictures. But then I Googled Menendez brother headlines and newspaper articles came up. Just such a shift in
Yes.
how news got to us back then and how it gets to us now.
And so quickly now.
Well,
Yeah.
now you can't even process what's happened because one thing happens and 20 minutes later, something else happens. Blessing and a curse, by the way, for the reality TV world, because something happens in my life where I'm like, it's the end of the world. And then one of my cast members does something more fucked up. And I'm like, oh, thank God it's over.
So true, right?
Well, I think it's very true. Okay, so you were at home vacuuming.
Yes.
And then that was brought even onto Housewives with Radzi.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know what? JFK Jr. was kind of royalty in the U.S. Because
Of course he was royalty.
Yeah, and it was very tragic.
What,
Where did his plane go down?
in the ocean.
Yep. And he had his wife on board and his wife's sister.
But also, was he the one pictured with the wrong hand saluting or something?
He was the little 3-year-old that was saluting his father at the funeral.
Okay, so that's the same person.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, two very tragic deaths in the same family.
Yes.
Am I doing that right? Was JFK, was he the one that was shot in the head?
Yes.
Yeah.
JFK and then his little boy's JFK Jr.
Junior,
Yes.
who was the plane
Yes.
crash. Okay.
Yes.
Chrissy B 70s said the Biggie and Tupac murders. I was very, very young when that happened.
I don't remember it.
You guys know how much I love Tupac, like borderline obsessed. But my sister-in-law, Cheryl, who was in the room when Sosa was born, She remembers being on a bus to school in San Francisco and getting the news. And she said it was like people just completely missed school, didn't show up. And that the news came through the radio in like the yellow school bus.
Wow.
And people lost their minds, sobbing. And I thought that was really interesting that she could remember exactly where she was during that too. The next one that I have is Britney Spears head shave. Okay, a little lighthearted.
Yes.
Britney Spears shaving her head. I remember Britney Spears with the shaved head. And also there's the paparazzi car and she's got the umbrella where she's trying to break the window.
That was that moment that's of her shaving her head. I won't forget. I was in school.
Okay.
And it was isn't it? I don't know if you remember. There was one kid or a couple of kids with the iPhone or the internet on their phone. Not everyone had it. So these kids were the news.
How old were we? Like where were if the iPhone I was in I was 17 I think when I got my first iPhone.
Let's see when she shaved her head because what I remember.
You know what's wild though? There are many moments that I experience on the low level of celebrity that I do have where I go, fuck this. I have zero control of my life. I need to shave my head or something.
No,
I totally.
You've
in
said
2007.
In 2007, so I was 17.
Yeah.
I do not blame her at all for being like, I have no control over my life. I'm shaving my freaking head because I'm just annoyed. You know,
she's at her wit's end.
Wit's end.
I just remember people at school coming up and like going like, "Did you see Britney Spears?" And then I just see the photo of her with a shaved head.
But
so
you guys,
that's how I remember it. Just at school.
You've seen her documentaries and how she's just like the paparazzi. They don't leave her alone.
No. I truly cannot imagine.
Like I don't blame her for shaving her head.
No, I don't either. And they would follow her when life was
Incessantly.
already really freaking hard. It wasn't like they were following her because, you know, her new album dropped or celebrating something great.
No, it was her downfalls. They wanted
with
to.
Justin Timberlake when shit was going south with her. Like that's when they were always doing her dirty.
No, it's disgusting. No, they really didn't. And that's why people from all over the world had marches.
For Britney.
Exactly. On
Free
the day.
Britney.
Exactly. I love this person. So it's N. Palmero, who also said the Britney Spears head shaving, but also talked about the headlines of anytime a "Now That's What I Call Music" album drops. Do you remember that? Oh, I totally remember. It was always such a big deal because it's like a new CD with lots of different songs from different people.
Wasn't that Kids Bop?
I gotta get it. Kids Bop was like the other version of like, you know, rap songs that were sang by kids and took out the cuss words. But Now That's What I Call Music would be like Vitamin C, As We Go On. And then the next one would be like, I'm a slave. It was like a bunch of different songs and edited.
Songs on a CD.
On CDs.
Yes, on
I
CD.
remember now. And
That's
remember
what I
they
call
had
music
the best
CD.
of the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
No, they were.
CDs.
Yes, we had.
All of
yes,
them.
we bought. Well, Dad was obsessed. That's
Yeah.
what I listened. That's literally what I listened to on the way to school.
We had 7, that's what I call CDs in our 7 tracks that we had.
No, literally, it was the greatest.
Of course it is. It's still
A little bit of Monica in my life. No, greatest. Brangelina breakup.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember that vividly, you guys.
I don't either.
I remember the scandal of them, like getting together.
Because he was with Jennifer Aniston. Wasn't he married to Jennifer Aniston?
Yes, and then they did Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Do you
and
remember?
then they turned into Mr. and Mrs. Smith. For real.
And it did go down in flames, like the end of the movie. Yikes! That's when you lift the collar, steam comes out. Jodi Arias trial. Do you remember her? I don't remember. I actually just started watching this one. She was like super sexy and was dating this guy and he ends up dead. But then she shows up to trial and she's like wearing glasses and trying to downplay her sex appeal. Chris Watts, I'm not remembering that either. Lacey
don't.
Peterson,
Chris
though.
Watts?
Lacey,
You don't know
yes.
Chris Watts? He's the dude who killed his wife with the 2 kids. Isn't that Chris Watts?
Look that up because that did happen in Utah. And if we're talking about that, I remember Super Bowl Sunday going over to my friend's house and they cut from the Super Bowl. I think it had ended. And cut from the Super Bowl and flashed
That
to
guy, Chris Watts, who killed his family. And
this
in
is a different
Colorado.
one and put them in the
Yeah.
tank.
He murdered his wife. She was pregnant. And then the 2 kids.
Yep.
And he worked in an oil field.
And that's where he put the kids.
Yes. And he had a girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do remember that. And then obviously Lacey Peterson.
Yes.
I don't know where I was
And
for
then,
any of that.
yeah,
though.
Scott and Lacey.
Yeah, and that, by the way, Netflix.
I was at Shivers when that one went down.
Oh, Shivers on 33rd, Salt Lake
33rd
City, Utah.
With Kristen.
I think it's now a swig,
Yeah.
honestly.
It is.
It's a thirsty.
Yeah, thirsty.
Same freaking thing.
It
Yeah.
really is.
It really is. And you can make them at home, you guys. Don't go spend the money.
Yeah, it's called cream.
I make them every day in my Ninja Thirsty. They now have soda flavors, and it's become a real addiction. I'm now one of the Mormon
Yeah,
people
you're a
who like
swig bitch.
makes them at 9 a.m. I'm like,
Oh, it's the best.
it is the best.
No.
Yes.
It's
When
Utah
truly.
has
Yes.
made its way into the home.
Yep.
I'm not mad about it. But they released a new doc on Netflix. This was like a month ago, and then they came out with Scott's version on Peacock, and it made him look even worse.
More guilty. Like you were guilty to begin with, but now you're even super. Like you've put the nail in the coffin.
No, truly. And it's not even that they pointed us in a direction of who it could be. They just wanted to give us enough pieces on why. They were just giving us reasonable doubt to release him.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. I'm going to need someone else to be responsible, not just a bunch of other things that could clear your name.
I mean, he was looking at the currents of where he dumped the body.
No, buddy, you killed your wife. Get over it. You're in prison. No one's letting you out. All right. It's time to come to terms.
Yes. Yes.
Find Jesus
Guilty.
now.
I would like the new breaking news headline to say Scott Peterson comes to terms with the fact that he's never getting out of prison. All right, give me that documentary. That's one I can get down with. Wait, unpopular opinion, you guys. I like this one because we talked about this on the regular episode. Unpopular opinion on headlines. Don't give 2 Fs about celebrity babies. Minus yours, obvi. That's what they said. Thank you, Joe Meany _
As we just talked about in the other episode, how you just want to see the baby.
I don't sit here and show me like you give birth and you show like the hand and then months go by and I'm now looking at your baby from behind. I now can see it's getting some hair, walking
Flat-ass
clearly.
head.
Now I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Now I don't
moved
even.
on.
I've moved on.
There's more
foreplay was
babies
too
to-
long.
to see.
There's more babies to see. You know, I'm a fan of the 1 week. A 1 week, you're at home with your baby.
I don't want to see it before 1 week, honestly.
Why?
Other people's.
Why?
Let's just get them.
Baked out of the oven?
Yeah, let's get the air to them.
Okay, I get that
Yeah.
because they do come
Right?
out and they're like,
For other people's, like for your baby or, you know,
Well,
Cheryl
because
and them.
we're
like
kind of attached to our babies.
well, but like
They're
that's
the
my
cutest, the
it's
smartest, the
family.
sweetest.
I want to see my family's babies.
so you think for other people, once they come out, because they
Give it
are
a week or two, and then show them the good photo when like they're not red and
Alien looking?
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you have your own baby, you think it's the most gorgeous thing in the world. And then you kind of go back after seeing your baby out of the womb. It has like some cheeks now. It's got some weight to them.
I used to think,
And you're like,
babies-
oh gosh, it was a little alien-like.
I used to think all babies were ugly until her, and now I find beauty in all babies.
Oh, that's so
Every
Aw.
baby's just different, and they're all so
That is
beautiful.
They really
cute.
are.
They are.
And they deserve to look a little funky when they came out because how traumatizing. Could you imagine remembering
Just
coming through
getting
the birthing
shoved
canal?
out of a hole, and then just hit, breathe.
No,
breathe.
for real though.
Yeah.
No, your first
Traumatizing.
moments on Earth are hell.
That's why you don't remember that.
Thank
You're like,
God.
put me back in there. OJ Simpson.
Oh, I remember where I was. I was at Porcupine, and I was cheering him to get away. How sad is that?
He
Because you
did.
didn't believe
I did not believe he did it. At
now
the time.
that's breaking news. That's a headline in
Right?
itself. Cheering for O.J. Simpson to get away in his white Bronco. But then, Mom,
The whole restaurant was because they had TVs everywhere.
wow.
He just wanted the athlete to get away. That's it.
No, but I think it was beyond that. I mean, he hadn't gone to trial yet.
No.
Then what was it like?
You know what? Really, I cannot get down with where they had him try on the glove
Over 9 gloves.
over a plastic glove. Well, when leather gets wet, it
And
shrinks.
not only
it was
that-
drenched in blood,
There
so
you go.
obviously it's not going to fit.
No, the blood
Like that was
shrunk
like
it.
not the clinger for me at all.
Well, that's because you have a brain. They would not want you on the jury, buddy.
Yeah,
You
Not
would have
at
been
all.
dismissed.
yeah, but I remember that.
You know, that was a wild one though. Jenna Willis was on the show Law and Order, OJ versus the People, and they had those jury members in lockdown for a very long time. From what that show showed.
Lockdown
Like
Because
the
you
verdict
Yeah,
or
you
No,
can't
like
leave
the
room
trial.
You can't
for the
leave the room
trial.
because you can't let the media sway you. So they
Yeah.
were in this hotel, like an area where they hold like banquets, like
It was
a banquet
conference
hall.
room.
From what the show showed,
Okay.
and
They didn't even have internet or anything, right? They couldn't read about anything.
no.
They couldn't have it. Yeah, they had no news. It was just up to them reading about the case and then coming up with their own. But they were in there for how long?
It was a very long time. I'm gonna leave us on 2008. Tiger Woods cheating on his wife.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Dude, I
Yes.
remember that too. And didn't she like take a golf club to his car?
She sure did.
As
Very,
you should.
Very fitting.
Very
Very
fitting.
fitting. You go, girl.
You think you can nail a ball with a 9-iron? Watch me nail your head with one, motherfucker.
Yes. And she was, I thought, so darling. I mean, I don't know her as a person, but
He was just out there playing 19 holes.
yeah, he was, and
Come
then
on.
some.
19.
Yeah, he was playing 36 a day.
Isn't it 18 holes?
Yeah, but he
But
got
twice around the course, it's 36.
Yes. Thank you, Mom.
He would just play the course once, but he'd make sure to hit 36 holes.
No, that was, wasn't it with the nanny?
Yes.
What the fuck is
Dude,
going on with these men?
With
and
the nanny, where he had to
Wait.
call and leave the
No,
voicemail.
no,
Delete all your information.
No, it was that girl.
yeah, no, she wasn't the nanny.
You could
because
tell, right?
Tiger Woods' wife used to be a nanny for one of their friends.
But wasn't it you could tell? The girl who was sleeping with
Maybe.
Tiger Woods?
I never looked up the women
She
he
was
was
brunette.
sleeping with.
Wasn't
I
she
was just
brunette?
very
Rachel, you could
impressed.
tell.
Yeah.
You guys, correct me if that's not right. I want to leave off actually with one more sports one that I do remember vividly as well. The Lamar Odom overdose.
Oh, yeah.
I saw him the other day in Sherman Oaks
We sure did.
Wearing his own T-shirt.
wearing his own T-shirt. I was like, look at this way tall guy in this Lamar Odom T-shirt. That's interesting.
Oh wait, it's Lamar.
Socks and slides. And I'm taking my kid. We're like going to Candyland, which is like a fun little place that you take your kids, right? And I'm like, that's Lamar Odom in his own T-shirt. It's giving Lala Kent vibes. Some shit I would do. Some shit I still do.
That you still do.
Yeah, I know. Someone needs to, you know? Someone has to support me.
But now we've got
who
Ocean-
better than me?
Yeah, we've got Ocean repping you now, too, with the T-shirts.
By the way, it's embarrassing. I send her to school in T-shirts with my face on them. And by the way, this is a PSA. I am not the one choosing these shirts for
She
her to wear.
is.
She's obsessed with them. So she does that,
I know she does.
not me.
No, she puts on what she wants to wear every day, and I let her. And if it's mama on her T-shirt, so be it.
You know, that just goes back to surviving. This was a very fun episode.
They're all
I
so
enjoyed
fun.
it.
They're all so fun, right?
Best.
We get to come here and call it work. And I just want to thank you guys for sticking with us for so long because we're about to wrap up a year. I mean, we are venturing into the holiday season and it's getting, I know how it can be. It gets stressful. It is not how it once was where we got to walk down and believe in Santa Claus. We are now Santa Claus. Any kids listening, Santa Claus is alive and well. Can't wait to come to your house.
You can now call him, so you better be on the good list.
Yes, I'm now calling Santa Claus still with Ocean, and she's still just as terrified, which is great news for me. I love you guys. Thank you for listening to another bonus episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Did I get all three? I'm getting really good at that.